Hello and welcome to another episode of Coach's Commentary. In this episode, I'm going to reflect on the top four teams as of now, with just one more week to go for the league phase. The competition is hotting up, and it's still not clear who exactly will make it to the top four. But nonetheless, as we get into the penultimate weekend of the league phase, the lineup will show you that the top four teams are GT, CSK, MI, and RR. Of course, all these teams have really done well to get there. And let's try and see as to what exactly it is that they did better than the rest of the teams to get to where they got to. GT started off well and carried on with their good form as its side. But what has been interesting about their progress is that they've been served well by the openers. Yes, they may not look as outstanding in terms of the chutzpah and in terms of the positivity that Jaiswal and Butler may perhaps display, or the solidity that Conway and Ruturaj Gaikwad may impress you with. But Riddhiman Saha and Shubman Gill have contributed significantly enough for the Gujarat Titans. Of course, all these four teams, Titans, the Kings, the Indians, and the Royals, have had the benefit of the openers doing well. But it's not just enough if the openers do well. You need to have the middle order backing up the good work that the openers provide at the top, obviously, and that is the secret for success. If you look at the Titans, Saha and Shubman Gill have done reasonably well, as I said earlier, but they've also been backed up enough by the middle order batters. Hardik Pandya has promoted himself at number three. He's done extraordinarily well. There's a lot of questions raised when he promoted himself. Generally, the impression was that he would be the finisher for the side, but he's taken the additional responsibility of going up the order and trying to bat deep as well. Of course, they've got a very good batting lineup. The middle order is really solid with the likes of David Miller, Vijay Shankar, and then you got Rashid Khan also contributing runs there. And quite obviously, their batting lineup is deep as well. And they also got good bowling lineup, which means that that's a side which has got almost just about everything covered, regardless of the surfaces that they play on. So it's no wonder that they are at the top of the table, and they will be looking forward to repeating what they did last year. But yet, there's a lot of cricket to be played, and things can be totally different as you get into the knockout phase. CSK have been served extraordinarily well by their openers, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devon Conway. The left right combination working wonders for them. But what is interesting is that both those openers have realized that they need to resort to conventional means to get runs consistently. The technique displayed by both of them is fantastic, and they're also aware of the areas that they can really make use of to get their runs. They've been good against pace and spin alike, and what they also done well is that they have resorted to improvising once they got a few runs under their belt in each and every game. It goes to show that you cannot and you need not necessarily go bang bang right from the start. But what they've done is that they built it up nicely, they paced the innings nicely, and it's also interesting to note that they've got in excess of 45% of the runs that CSK have got this season. Goes to show the kind of consistency that they have battered with, and also goes to show as to how much the CSK depends on these two to give a good platform. But what is also complemented this opening pair well is the strong middle order lineup of CSK. You got Shivam Dubey, then you got Ajinkya Rane, then you got Ambati Rayudu, Moin Ali, Jadeja, and MS Dhoni. This list never ends because You need to have a good batting lineup, and you also need to have batters playing with fantastic intent, and that's exactly what the CSK side has done. For example, in their outing against Delhi Capitals at home uh, last weekend, what they did was that not many got past the 25 mark, but still they put up a total which is good enough for them to defend against the Delhi Capitals. So they're all aware of what exactly it is that is required of them, and they all have been contributing meaningfully. It's not that couple of batters run away with things. It's just that each and every middle order batter is contributed towards the cause of this side. MS Dhoni has obviously been fantastic, and he has been really revving it up towards the last couple of overs when they bat. So that's one of the reasons as well for CSK to tide over trying circumstances uh, in at least about 3, 4 games. So that's what has made CSK continue doing what they do best, that is, entertaining their fans and also progressing to the knockout phase. They're on the verge of qualifying this year as well, but again, they cannot allow complacency to set in. Mumbai Indians has got a history of unearthing raw talent, nurturing them, and converting them into match winners. The list of such cricketers is long as far as Mumbai Indians is concerned. And this year, they also have done the same in terms of unearthing raw talent. Vadera is there as a prime example. One big problem is that they've not had the openers serving them as you've seen with the CSK or with the other three sides that are in the top four. But Ishan Kishan is gradually getting his mojo back, and then we have Rohit Sharma, nowhere close to his usual efficacy. He's looked good, but somehow he's not really got to the efficacy levels that is normally associated with them. They'll be hoping that he gets to that stage by the time they get to the knockout. But nonetheless, is the Mumbai middle order, which has done extraordinarily well for them. Of course, when you talk about Mumbai middle order, you forget everybody else because you got Surya Kumar Yadav there. He was under a lot of pressure because people felt that he's been found out when he had a very ordinary one-day series leading up to the IPL, but he has found his touch. He's been fantastic in this IPL. On the 100 that he got against Gujarat Titans is something that anyone and everyone who saw it could only come up with as many adjectives as they knew, because that's the kind of innings it was. And the opposition side, normally, they tend to appreciate, but not with the kind of admiration that Gujarat Titans did when they walked off the field in that encounter when Surya Kumar Yadav got a fantastic century. And if he continues his form, then I think the Mumbai Indians will be absolutely delighted because Surya Kumar Yadav in top nick is really going to be a scourge of any kind of attack that will come up against them. Okay, the Royals, what have they done? They've done extraordinarily well. Why? One of the main reasons being that the openers, once again, like Chennai Super Kings, the left-right combination of Josh Butler and Yashasvi Jaiswal. Josh Butler, of course, is a renowned batter in the T20 format in international cricket, and he's a seasoned campaigner. He's consistent. Yes, we all know about Josh Butler, but Yashasvi Jaiswal is giving everybody the hope that he is going to be one of the superstars in the future in international cricket and across formats as well. Because that boy is just not doing extraordinarily well in this IPL. He's also got good numbers in red ball cricket and also in the 50-over format. This young man has progressed very smoothly. And what I am impressed about this young man, as I said in one of the earlier episodes, is the way he has learned about the game and learned about his game and understood his game to try and make the maximum out of his potential. It's been a delight to watch that young boy, and the innings he played against KKR is something that is likely to become folklore. Can you imagine people sitting at home and watching, or people sitting in their hotel rooms watching and then tweeting and appreciating him? And mind you, the appreciation is coming from the greats of the game like Brian, Lara, and the rest of them. You name it, whoever saw their innings, they couldn't help but appreciate that man's effort, that young boy's effort, in fact, against the KKR. Yes, it's not just the openers. Uh, who were the prime reasons for RR to be in the top four. They've also been served well by the middle order batters. Of course, you have Sanju Samson, who's been doing really well for them. Hetmeyer has also done well for them. And then the thing is that uh, RR could perhaps be guilty of not winning a couple of games more because they've been a little bit hot and cold at times, but that's not deterred them from getting into the top four. But they still look a very good side. They can go the entire distance because they got a well settled unit. And it looks like that particular dressing room is very happy and they're happy for each of the success and they're aware of what it is that each of them need to do, very much like perhaps the setup in CSK. And the interesting thing is that they also got Joe Root bowling for them, which means that they got some more flexibility into their lineup and also extra options, which is very critical in the T20 format. So, all in all, if you look at the top four sides, the Gujarat Titans, Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, and the Rajasthan Royals, the important thing is that they've been served well by the openers, except perhaps maybe for Mumbai Indians, but they all have been really backed well and served really well by the middle order batters. So this is something that all those four sides would be looking to continue right till the end. Again, as I said at the start, there's no saying as to how things can suddenly change this T20 format. None of the sides can be complacent because there's not really much of difference in terms of points when you have a look at the table. It's all a question of sides continuing to do what they have been doing and just stepping up on the momentum that they're gained so far. As far as the rest is concerned, they'll have to try and up the ante and really challenge the top four teams on the table and try and surpass them. But no matter what happens, one thing is guaranteed. Everybody is assured of some exciting cricket in the last week of the IPL, the league phase two. Of course, the knockouts are going to be crackers, but for a tournament which has gone on for as long as it's gone, and for the interest levels to be maintained until the perhaps last few games is fantastic. That's why the IPL is watched the world over. That's why it generates so much of interest. And I'm sure that all of you would be really looking forward to watching the remaining part of IPL with the same kind of enthusiasm and interest that you've done all along. That's it from me on this episode. And until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.